This episode is brought to you by Fuli Gemstones.
Some of my beads I make 2 hours to make one.
With the fire in front of you?
Yes.
Smelling of bacon? Cooked bacon?
No. Now we use gas and oxygen, and you haven't got.
You haven't got the pig fat.
No.
And you must get very hot.
Yes, it's very hot.
So how do you protect yourself?
I don't protect me, because if you protect you haven't got the feedback with the fire. And at the end, if you respect the element, the fire is your friend.
I'm Carol Woolton, the voice of jewellery. Welcome to If Jewels Could Talk. I'm an author and broadcaster, and the woman who initiated the role of jewellery editor at magazines like Tatler and Vogue. This is a podcast for everyone, for people who do like jewellery, for people who don't realise they like jewellery, and anyone intrigued by fascinating facts, new ideas and forgotten histories. So join me as I tell sparkly tales and meet all sorts of people, delving into 4 centuries of jewellery culture and investigate what's happening now. Today we have the second episode in our Venetian special. So join me on the island of Murano, where we're going to talk to a master glassmaker, Muriel Balensi. Now, if I sound a bit hot, please forgive me. It was 33 degrees outside. This was recorded in the summer at the Homo Faber Festival at the very end of August. And then Muriel lit her ovens. All I can say was, it was like being in a sauna. But she's fascinating, she's dedicated, it's her life in glass. So keep listening, and I hope you enjoy it.
Glassmaking is the ancient origin of a method using fire and glass to create jewellery, tableware and objects. And Murano in particular, the glass made here has a particular delicacy, lightness, translucency, which has brought it fame all around the world. Muriel, thank you very much for hosting us today.
Thank you to come to visit me in Murano. I'm very happy and excited and proud to see you today. Thank you so much.
And Muriel I will show you where she is. We will film it and put it on Instagram and YouTube. When you're listening to it, you can have a look. But she's off the beaten track in Murano. It is old-fashioned Venice. You imagine washing lines were out as I came down in a boat. People are living in a traditional way here. Muriel, is that right?
Yes, I agree with you, but Murano, it's a very, very old story. And they write the story with this fashion, with this style. And I think for them, it's a possibility to keep the memory with the life of this memory. And is the story, and they like it like that.
So they don't want to be in the touristo part of Venice or Murano. They want to live a traditional life, which I guess is increasingly hard here.
Yes, exactly. It's a very touristical place, and they rent selling this style of jewelry or glass production. So I think it's good for them. It's a job, and for touristical people, it's good because it's not easy to have got their own style. They have got imagination. To create a new style, you have to make a lot of research, and research is no money. It's you don't win every time. You
trial and error. You
yes.
have to keep producing. It might not work.
Exactly.
To perfect it.
And you try, and you haven't got the success in the first time. You have to test a lot.
But first of all, I want you to describe to us the art of glassmaking. Tell us originally how it evolved, and then how you create glass now and whether that process has changed?
Yes, in Murano, I think they are the best glass maker in all over the world. Because they have got this very particular technique is à la façon de Venise, is international manner to say this one. It's without stamp, only with free hand, la mano volante. And
so it's all handmade?
Yes, absolutely.
And in other parts of the world, it's machine made?
Not necessarily, but they use a lot of stamps. Here they use...
What is stamps?
It's something like this one, for example. You have got a bottle, you have got a glass.
Oh, I see, a model.
Model.
Or in jewellery, we call it a mould.
Yes.
So other places, they'll use a mould. They're
Yes.
not creating directly the whole piece by hand.
Yes. Here in Murano, we make all the pieces in glass factory with a newspaper inside the water. And with the hand, they make this one, and they create all the shapes that you would like. And we work a lot with gravity force, because glass is a very, very fluid material, very sensual, and you have to move all the time, and it's an element. You work with the fire, so you have to work even with the air if you would like a very fluid, a very a beautiful shape, very free shape. And in the other part of the world, they work a lot with a lot of instruments. And when you hear the music of the glass, when they work, you hear very strange music. Here you have got an harmony, even with the instrument. It's beautiful. It's like a ballet. It's a very harmonious technique.
But at the very basic, I want you to describe to us, because for you it's something you do every day. For us, it's something very unusual, and we need to understand. So the heat, you need heat to melt the glass. And in lamp working, which is what you specialize in, traditionally was from the flame of a candle. Do you still use the flame of a candle?
No, at the beginning it's not exactly this one. It was, yes, you use a flame of the candle, but with oil of pig.
Oil of the pig.
And you burn it, you burn this oil, and you have got, of course, an awful perfume. Sorry, but it's a tradition. And after with the candle, you give fire this one, and you can fuse the glass. But at this moment, they use a lot of pastel color, opaque color.
But you've got the glass on the end of a metal tube.
You have got the glass around tube of now in copper, but before in steel. And you roll around the glass fusing around this stick, and you can create every shape. But in this period, they use a lot of pastel, because on the middle, on the steel, you have to put an argile, and like that you can take off your beads to have got the hole.
So this is particularly bead making?
Yes. That's why the old beads, they are opaque colors, even the African beads, etc. Because they have got only this technique. You have to wait 18th century to have got the invention of the transparent glass. And this one, after they develop it, and they give a new energy, a new movement, a new force to Murano glass. But after the problem, it's they export it, and some of Glassmaster go there to teach, and after they have got the concurrence of the crystal.
I see. But tell me, how do you shape it? When it's very hot and at the end of your copper tube, how do you actually shape it? You can't touch it. It's boiling. It's what, 1500 degrees
Yes, it's
Fahrenheit? How do you physically make the shape?
with the gravity.
So you turn the tube upside down
Yes,
to make it longer?
you move it up and down, and you have to work very quick because the particularity of Murano glass, it's you have to stay all the time inside the fire. With another type of glass like borosilicato or American glass, you can stay a lot of time outside and you can keep it there and come back tomorrow and work again. Here, when you begin something, you have to finish it.
So how long would that take?
It depends. Some of my beads, I make 2 hours to make one because it's
With the fire in front of you?
Yes.
Smelling of bacon, cooked bacon.
No. Now we use gas and oxygen, and you haven't got.
You haven't got the pig fat.
No.
You use gas.
Gas and oxygen.
And you must get very hot.
Yes, it's very hot.
So how do you protect yourself?
I don't protect me because if you protect you haven't got the feedback with the fire. And at the end, if you respect the element, the fire is your friend. But you have, of course, to be careful and to be very quiet and with a good mood to begin to work. But like that, you have got really the good feeling.
Do you have anything covering your face or your eyes?
In my eyes, yes, I have got some sunglasses to protect with UV and the bad radiation. But in my hand, nothing, and in my body, nothing. At the beginning, it's a little bit
it's frightening.
Complex. But,
have you burnt yourself?
Yes.
She's showing me, you can't see this, but she's showing me burn marks.
At the beginning.
All the way up from her wrist to her elbow.
Not too much.
Oh, quite a few.
Wow.
That must hurt.
Yes.
But now you don't have accidents now.
You have got all the time accidents.
Really?
Because sometimes you don't be careful, or sometimes you are very enthusiastic with what you make, and you don't think you touch something that you just put and you have got 1 minute before inside the fire. All the time you have to be concentrated. It's le meilleur des amants, the unique thing that you have got in your heart and in your mind.
Where do you actually do it? You don't do it in
this place. After the cube, you have got my torch and 2 ovens.
So you can actually do it in front of some of your clients. They can come and watch.
Absolutely, absolutely. And usually everybody can come there, and I make a demonstration, and they choose their own color, and one person, one bead.
Okay, so they can commission you as you're working.
Yes, absolutely. And for me, it's very interesting because usually a lot of people have got a good combination of colors, and I haven't got this idea. So for me, it's opening new universes.
So I want to know how you started, Muriel. How did you start in glass? How did you discover that this is what you wanted to do?
Before, I work and I live in Paris, and I'm very happy in this place because I love Paris, and I love my work. But I have got this impression that it's not exactly what I would like to find in my life, and I have got this impression that one voice is in silence inside of me.
What was that job that you were doing?
I make a very, very, very normal job, very quiet, and I choose it and I love it, but I'm not completely happy. And I come in holidays here in Venice, and I see the glass for the first time. And I have got this impression that, I try the torch, and I have got this impression that is an artistical medium that I always would like to find in my life. And I decide to come there for 6 months, and to find a little job, a little place, a little studio, and a little home.
So this was in 2007?
Yes. Mm-hmm. No, in the early days in 7. Mm-hmm. And when I come with the 6 months is in 8.
Yes.
Okay. I come there and I find these 3 things so I can begin and try to live here, because I don't speak the language, I haven't got some money, no friends, nobody, but I have got my dream and I am happy like that. And so I try, and after I come back after 6 months, and I open very quickly a little shop in my atelier, like that I can pay my rent and I can try to survive. And 8 years ago, I have to change another time in my life, and I come in Murano with only this art studio. And now I receive the person with appointment, and I can fill up new collaboration, new universities. I am quiet to work, and it's better for me.
So how long did it take from the time you moved here that you could be a glassmaker? And how long does it take to learn?
One life.
Okay.
One life, because you learn. I learn every day. I learn every day, and it's very interesting because glass is absolutely infinite. So every day it's a new day, and every day you can learn, you can try, you can test a new thing, and you have got new ideas. Even like a painter, with all these colors. That this one even is a particularity of Murano glass. That is a color, and it's every day it's magical, because you can invent something, and to invent something you can to learn something new.
But what do you have to do to become a master glassmaker? Do you have to have a certain amount of years? You have to produce something? How do you become a master?
No, usually in Murano they say you have got a school of glass, but usually they say that is the other master is the other maestro to decide. One day you walk along the canal, and you meet some person, and this person said, "Ciao maestro." Okay.
The local community anoint their own masters.
Yes, I'm good. This one is the tradition, and usually they say like that. But it's true that in 2019, here in Murano, we have got the International Conference of Glass, and I participated in the closed ceremony with a very beautiful event, fashion show in glass, and I make a particular address, and everybody thinks that this one is absolutely beautiful and it's the best one. And at this moment, Murano, because you have got all over the world, India, America, etc. Murano said to me, "Okay, you make for the island a historical piece. We win the fashion show, and now you are really a Murano citizen."
And how does lamp working, how you are working, how does that differ from other forms of glass making?
Alors, glass is one unique material, but it's 7-10 different jobs. Because, for example, a glass factory, they are hot sculptures. They have got this very, very big mass infusion, and with this newspaper inside the water, they move it, and it's very heavy. It's a team work, and you have got a lot of noise. And this one is glass factory. It's fabulous. It's absolutely creates some dependence. It's true, but this one is a job of sculpture. After you have got, for example, casting. It's an cera persa. It's another sculpture. So they make like with bronze. So they make one stamp with avec la cire.
So they make a sort of mold like a candle.
Yes, they make a mold like the candle, and after they fuse the glass inside to have got this one, for example.
This is a hand.
Yes, it's casting glass.
And then how do you make it in one piece?
They've got this mold. First they make
I see. So they make the mold of the hand.
and after they have got a positive, and after they make a negative, and when you have got the negative, you insert the glass inside and you have got a perfect shape. And this one is absolutely a very, very great maestrance and very complex. And this one, it's another job, but it's sculptor, but it's not hot sculptor like a glass factory, but it's always glass. After you have got all the job when they polish it, they can make some fantastic shape, fantastic design with the machine, with a very, very complex instrument. And it's very complex too to make this job. And this one is another one.
So how many ways of glass making are there?
I think 7, 8.
About 7 or 8.
Yes.
And people just work with what suits them.
Yes.
And how much hand work they want to do.
Usually, only in glass factories you work with team. In the other case, you work alone, and you have got only one maestro for una piazza for the team, and in a glass factory only one maestro. And the difference with lamp working, it's a very solitary job. And it's like meditation, it's very zen, and it's like a painter. With only 2 fingers, you create, it's a microcosm, very small details, and it's usually a woman makes this job.
Mm. I was going to ask you that, because I read somewhere that traditionally when lamp working started, they wanted women to do it because they could do it at home.
Yes, absolutely. Mm. Because usually when Murano or Italy have got some problem with the epidemic or with the wars, etc., and so men can't work, or of course 7 centuries ago they have got a lot of bambini, a lot of children, and so it's necessary to have got more money. And so usually when the women finish kitchen, market, laundry and babies, to put cheese inside the pasta, they attack the tube of gas inside the kitchen, and they begin to work and to make some beads. And of course, it's just for the cheese in the pasta, and not for chicken or for meat, and just for a little bit of money for this very big family.
Mm-hmm. Let's just talk a little bit about the history of glassmaking and why it's centered on Murano.
Because La Serenissima, it was a very powerful and beautiful republic. And
so the Romans had been making glass from about the 1st century, and I guess it was rediscovered in Venice.
Yes, but at this time, Venetians are very, very subtle person, and they identify immediately the power of glass.
Because I think immigrants from the East fleeing Constantinople brought with them extensive knowledge of glass arts and production. And so I think in Venice it became this sort of melting pot of people and ideas and methods of working, which kind of revived the idea of glass.
Because usually when La Serenissima or Venetian people make war, and after when they bring back with treasure, they bring back even with art maestry. in in tapestry, mosaic, glass, etc. And that's why you have got this melting pot and this fusion of artists.
And then the Republic decided to eject all the glassmakers from the main island.
Yes.
And it became an enforced law that they came to work on Murano.
Yes, absolutely. To keep the secret.
To keep the secret of the glassmaking, so they didn't travel hard to get away from Murano.
Yes.
And also, was it because of the heat of the furnaces that it might create fire?
Yes, exactly. So 2 reasons. But they can go in Venice or in Murano or in the Laguna, but not in the other countries to teach, etc. But in my point of view, it's absolutely just because at this moment we have got la Serenissima make nobile, aristocrats, people with their own art. And for example, an art master can marry the daughter of the Doge. And even without
the glass art master,
yes.
Because it was a very noble profession.
Yes, exactly. And so it's true that you can't move, but you begin noble, and
Okay.
in this case you give your fidelity of.
So they couldn't leave Venice without permission, but they were given all kinds of privileges, and they were offered a lot of respect within their profession in the city.
Exactly.
And so you're basically saying it was a very fast track way to get very upwardly socially mobile. Because even if you were a humble person to be on Murano, if you were a glassmaker, as you say, your daughter could marry the Doge.
Exactly. And your family is I've got some money, they are not angry. So it's a respect. So I think in my point of view, it's normal.
I suppose one of the most famous techniques that we've all heard about is the millefiori, the 1,000 flowers.
See, this one.
Muriel is showing me her millefiori. Golden glass beads, which are round her neck, which have got lots of quite elaborate flowers around it with gold. So how do you produce that?
No. This one, they are old antique.
Those are antique.
Antique necklace, and like you can see at this moment of the story, they work only with gas, and you have got gold leaf in the superficie, and with the time, with all the women that they wear it, the gold go away, but it's a very interesting necklace, this one. It's a very particular technique. At the moment, when you have got the very, very big industry of Murano glass, we have got some bead maker women. They prepare all this little stick of glass. It was a job.
Incredible.
Only, I show you very, very slim stick of glass, like a spaghetti. And children on the morning go to this one, and it was a job to create all this one.
So these are like little canes, as you said, spaghetti, coloured spaghetti in glass, and they put those together and then cut them in an arrangement like a flower, and they somehow get that inside clear glass.
Yes, and after you take you take this one, and you make your base with pastel or transparent color like you would like. After you can insert gold leaf, a transparent layer of glass, etc. And after you take this stringer of glass, spaghetti, colored spaghetti of glass, and you put it there and you fusion, you twist and you cut. You twist and you cut.
And then they make particular decorative ways inside glass using the colour.
See, this one, it's a more contemporary technique. And after, after you, with una punta, with something, you pull all these points, for example, you pull in the middle of 4 points of colors, and like that you have got a flower. And after you put on this flower, on this layer of glass, another layer of transparent glass, and you have got the flower inside the beads.
Because all those sort of coloured beads that were bagged up in Venice, that was the millefiori beads that they loved, wasn't it, to take? And how did they do that? How did they make those beads then?
No, they usually millefiori they make only with air torche, not with gas and oxygen, because it's a very, very delicate technique. And if you would like, you can make, of course, with gas and oxygen. But if you would like this beautiful design with these stringers, etc., it's better with air. And here in Murano and in Venice, a lot of people work only with air torche. It's an antique technique, and you can make some beautiful beads. You can work even better l'avventurina, for example. It's this glass that you have got copper inside, and you have got this impression that is paillette. It's a beautiful glass, but it comes a lot of light with only air torche. So even in this case, you have got one material is the glass, but it depends of the glass. You have got better torch or better techniques. Even the antique techniques, sometimes it's better for some kind of glass. And it's in this case for millefiori, it's better with air torche.
And so if women were doing the lamp working originally, because they weren't allowed to be in charge of the furnaces, were they? Now, how many women do you think there are as glassmakers on Murano?
It's very difficult to know, because a lot of people work for industry or make some beads, and it's very difficult. Really, I think it's perhaps 200 persons between Murano and Venice, perhaps 300. But to create new models, new beads, I think 10%, and you can recognize every hand.
Oh, really? That's
Yes.
so interesting. So you can walk down and you can know exactly who made it.
Yes.
They will have their own style,
Yes.
basically.
Who create, you can recognize every hand.
And why did you choose beads to specialize in? Do you feel you specialize in beads?
Yes, for me the beads is my it's better for my imagination, even for my body, because the other form of glass is very heavy, and I'm a little woman, and so it's not possible. But I like to focus my my mind and my heart in these little spaces, even because I believe in the microcosm. And I think if everybody can work every day to have got a better microcosm, world begin a paradise. So it's even my my philosophy.
I think the art of glassmaking has also been very closely related in Venice with mosaic work, because all the mosaics were little glass tesserae, like little tiles. Does that inspire you at all?
Yes, a little bit. I love mosaic, and it's true that you have got San Marco Square with this absolutely fabulous basilic shining inside the sun with this mosaic. Perhaps all this gold and all this color, but usually my inspiration is more painting, because I love to study painting in 2 centimeters, and like that you can understand how to have got the color and even the good movement to change color in one painting. And so I try to make the same thing with my bead, just a little bit of every color, and like that you have got a lot of reflects. So Venice reflects too.
I can see the bead that you're wearing in the center of your necklace has a lot of color, and these are like sort of little arabesques of color. So how do you achieve that inside the glass?
With a lot of patience. You have to, sometimes I use, I don't know, perhaps 20 colors, but you put 70 points of color in each layer to have got the reflects.
And how many layers are there?
I try the most, but after one moment you can go inside on the sole, on the middle of the beads. So I think 9 is max, because you have got one transparent, after you have got gold, filigrana, transparent, after I make a design, after I put another layer of transparent, I make a design, I put another layer of transparent, and I make another design, and sometimes I add even filigrana, so 12, and after it's not possible to read all the levels, and you have got confusion.
But how do you do that? You must have to work very quickly, because doesn't that colour just melt? So you have to do it very, very quickly.
Yes and not, because it's very long, because glass have got his own time, and it's a very long time, because you have to wait a minute that the temperature is good, and after you have to make your design. The difficulty is to work on the superficie of the bead, to have got this perfect design, perfect definition, exactly like with a pencil. But the sole of the bead, the middle, when you have got the copper, the hole, this one have to be hot. But if it's too hot, you have got a bad color, you have got a large design, etc. So the secret of the glass is the fire, it's the temperature. It's not the person who work it.
So you have to absolutely know how the glass is going to react to that temperature before you insert your dots of colour.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's a sort of science, in a way. It's a kind of creative science.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And do you draw your designs before you create, or do you just feel it in the moment, or do you have a template of a drawing you're following?
I design it, but after usually I not every time, but sometimes I change it. You have to keep all the time your open mind, because the glass I've got very, very good suggestions, because the glass know better than us.
Does the glass tell you when a piece is finished? Does it say enough?
Yes. I think in art or in jewelry, in every job, in every art, you have got a truth. And even with the kitchen, for example, it's one moment you know, you feel it with all your body, with your heart and your mind. You feel the equilibre, you feel the harmony, and you say stop. Like a poetry, like a music, and stop, because after it's too much. And so this one, that's why you have to be careful and to be all the time very humble.
Do you think glass is underrated as a material for jewellery? Because people don't often wear glass, do they?
Because I think before, when you look the story, you have got in Africa all the prince of the king, the queens, even man. You have got one bead, it's one social category. And so before, in this time, glass is it's very appreciated and very precious. And say that they buy Manhattan Island with the beads, but so they have got a value. Now, perhaps because after glass begin a little bit pacotille.
What's pacotille?
Pacotille is a ship beads, a ship glass.
Oh, I see. Because people think of beads as something childlike.
Yes.
And not sophisticated.
Exactly.
But you're explaining to us how sophisticated it can be.
But people prefer the gem or the stone or the diamond because they think it's more precious. But I think even perhaps it's a society problem because in this society you lost a little bit this sense of the value of the hand, the value of the person. And we would like something that everybody have got, like that after can make a selfie and to have got the label, and it's better like that. Rather than before, I think when you have got, it's difficult even to have got an artistical piece, something very original or something like that. And glass opens this kind of possibility.
Well, this is why I've met Muriel. It's because I'm here for the Home of Faber exhibition on the island San Giorgio Maggiore. And this is on for some time. And basically, it is sponsored by Richemont, Johann Rupert, and his daughter, Hanley Rupert, who amass the greatest artisans they can find from around the world. And I saw the works this morning, and their basket weaving and extraordinary metal work, most delicate flowers from Japan, incredible bamboo, so delicate, made by Korean artisans into hats. Your piece is a glass chessboard, which is amazing. They are celebrating the fact that there are so many people working by hand, that it should be encouraged. People should find these craftsmen wherever they live. There, I mean, you and all the other craftspeople are on their website. So wherever you are in the world, you can go and look at some extraordinary work, which is fantastic. It's a great resource for us all. So doing a chessboard was away from what you usually do. Was that a challenge?
No, it was because with my beads I make some jewels, but I make even some sculpture, some body jewels, installation, and a lot of collaborations. And with my boyfriend, Giovanni Nicola, we develop a lot of this kind of collaboration because Giovanni, it was a very, very great glass master. And we love to work together and to mix our love and our love of glass in one piece. And with this chessboard, for us, yes, exactly, it was a little bit a challenge because one day we would like to make a new inspiration with these collaborations. And we have got this idea of the chessboard, and we make some samples. And after, when we are okay with the design, the size, and the colors, we make this creation with in collaboration. So beads inside the Murano glass factory. And this one we invent this technique.
You're talking about the chessboard with a bead in the middle. Yeah.
Yes. In each pieces, you have got one bead in the middle of the pieces. And
so you had this idea of the beads were made here in Murano by you?
Yes, I make the beads, and we make a research for 3 years to have got the compatibility. And because nobody make it before us in this with a very, very big beads inside, because it's very complex. Because
inside the chessboard.
Inside the glass factory.
And what's the next project? Are you working on something now?
Now I work on this hysteria necklaces. It's a little sculpture. This one.
Now Muriel is describing. I'll put a picture up. It's basically something you could wear with a very plain black dress. It's almost like a big shawl with wisteria, grapes, all tumbling down. Sort of around the neck, it goes around the back. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a massive, massive jewel, really, that you would wear around your neck and shoulders. You can't call this a necklace. So you're working on pieces like this to be worn.
Yes.
Sort of taking the idea of jewellery and glass and making something really new.
Yes, I have got this idea because one time I passed in front of a shop of one of my friends who makes this little hysteria with conterie, these little beads of Murano glass, and I love it, and I have got in front of my eyes for a few months. And one day I said, okay, I have to make something in collaboration with her, and I begin this one. And this one is one of my new projects, and I would like to make some new collaboration in glass factory, but in this spirit. For example, this one is I have to finish that. It's
beautiful.
I cut bead in the middle.
This is like a round glass sphere, and in it,
yes, exactly.
The most lovely. It's like a cross between a feather or a fuchsia flower in lots of different swirls. Very feathery pattern. It's amazing.
And I would like to work, of course, with glass masters, glass maestry, to work to make one bead, but in a glass factory, but with my technique, same technique. And in glass factory, it's not possible to put dots of color. So usually I can't make this one, but I have got an idea. I put some piece of beads, and after with a stringers like that.
A spaghetti.
Yes.
Crystal spaghetti. I'm going to put images up and all the details, so if anyone gets over to Murano, they should come and sit where I'm sitting. And thank you very much for sharing your secrets, your glass-making secrets with us.
Thank you so much. I'm very happy to meet you. Thank you, Carol.
Thank you for listening. For this and other episodes of If Jewels Could Talk, please go to our website, carolwoolton.com/podcasts. Do share it any way you can, and we love to have a rating and a star, if possible. The book of the podcast is out now, If Jewels Could Talk. The FT said it was inspired by the hit podcast, If Jewels Could Talk. And the South China Morning Post call us the best fashion podcast to make you think. Join me in 2 weeks for the next Jeweled Nugget, where you will have to think, because it's a kind of whodunit. We need to work out whether somebody did it, somebody meant to do it, and somebody intended to do it. I will be talking to the author of The King's Salute, Richard Wallace, and we need to find out whether there was a confusion, deception, heist, or crime. Join me then, and thank you for listening. Bye-bye. If Jewels Could Talk with Carol Woolton is produced by Natasha Cowan, music and editing by Tim Thornton, graphics by Scott Bentley, illustration by Jordi Labanda. You can find our sponsors at fullygemstones.com and me at carolwoolton.com.